Chapter 51 The Grace of Our Heavenly and Earthly Parents. Tao gives birth to all things. It nourishes them with its virtue, shapes them into different forms and styles, and perfects them in its natural environment. Thus, all things respect Tao and honor its virtue. The respect of Tao and honor of its virtue is something they give naturally, without being forced. Therefore, Tao gives birth to them. Virtue nourishes them, fosters and nurtures them, settles and completes them, nourishes and covers them. Tao produces but does not possess, nourishes but does not dominate, fosters growth but does not take credit. This is called hidden virtue. Revelation chapter 51. Tao is the source of all creation. Naturally, all living things grow and develop through the virtue that Tao presents, which is the fostering of all beings, compassion, and love. Tao gives them the forms and shapes them into completion. They are nurtured by its virtue. After this cycle, myriads of things come into existence, making the ecological environment into an endless chain. The reason for all things being formed is that they are supported by Tao and nurtured by virtue. Thus, all things will naturally honor heaven and earth. They will honor Tao and value virtue. This is just like us displaying our filial piety towards our parents. Tao, which is being honored for its creation of all things, and virtue, which is valued for nurturing them. Force or order no one. It happens all by itself, naturally. Tao's creation of all things and virtue's nurturing of them is evidence of the process of Father Heaven and Mother Earth operating together. The characteristics and behaviors of Father Heaven and Mother Earth Tao are as follows. It nurtures all things and sentient beings and does not possess. It carries the virtues of accomplishing all things, and yet it does not have the slightest display of arrogance or self-assured ability. It nourishes all things but does not flaunt and dominate. It lets the natural cycles of all things develop freely of their own accord. The only words that one can use to describe this great morality of selflessness, absence of ego, and lack of desire to dominate are great mystic virtue.